Hey everybody, this is Dan for Gaming D on Cars. Now it is a beautiful, actually scorching hot Monday here in Mechanicsburg, PA. Now I have traveled to Porsche Mechanicsburg here to take a look at this car. This is something that I never had the chance to review until today, so we're crossing that off the list. This is a 2020 Porsche Panamera 4. Now this is the sedan of Porsche, which was introduced in 2010 to a little bit of criticism. It was a little bit controversial at the time. You know, Porsche had never produced a four-door sedan, but this generation is a 2020. It was in its second generation for 2017, and now it is absolutely beautiful, and it essentially looks like a four-door 911, which we know is one of the sports car benchmarks. There's actually a first-gen Panamera right there, and like the rear end right there just sort of looked kind of funky, and it almost didn't work, but now everything has been smoothed out, and this car is actually very, very attractive. Now this is not the bottom of the barrel. That is the Panamera. This is a Panamera 4 with all-wheel drive, has dual clutch automatic, has a 3-liter V6 twin turbo with 330 horsepower and 330 foot-pounds of torque. Now this would be in the class of the swoopier versions of cars like the Mercedes CLS, the BMW 8 Series, and the Audi A7. And I think this is every bit just as good looking as those. You know, it's hard to find, you know, your Goldilocks of the German sports sedans, but this thing has a lot going for it. So we're gonna go over all the specs. We're gonna talk about how it's been a little bit controversial, and then we're gonna get it on the road. So let's take a look at the Panamera 4.
Three, two, one.
Now, since I have both of the generations here sort of right in front of it, that, like I said before, that rear end of that one just is sort of like a little bulbous, a little truncated, and they definitely smoothed everything out for this second generation. Now, it really looks like a four-door 911, and obviously that is what they were going for. Now, this car is finished in the gentian blue, which is an absolutely beautiful color. Audi and Porsche really does blue colors very nice. They have the Nogaro blue, but yeah, this thing has big 21-inch rims, Michelin tires. I mean, you want the best when you go for cars like this, and this is no exception. Now, I had the opportunity to drive a 2017 911, and I was really blown away by that, and I hope I feel the same way with this, even though this is still a V6. There are hotter versions of this. There's the S, there's the GTS, there's the turbo. I think it goes all the way up to like 675 horsepower, which is almost double what this is. This is 330 horsepower, but you've got the beautiful styling of Porsche. Now, I always like their little four dots of the headlights, and Porsche options can get expensive, and you can go with color matched headlights and carbon fiber trim, and it definitely does not take very long for it to get very expensive. I think this sort of front three-quarter view is the best angle of this car. Now, the rear is still good looking too. Yeah, let's just go back to the rear. Now this car also has the spoiler that flips up. I think there's a button you can press. That whole panel will flip up, and some of the other ones, the turbos, I think, they split in the middle and they go out. It's almost like an Iron Man spoiler. But yeah, this being a 4, it has the all-wheel drive. Now the exhaust is not as aggressive as the other ones. Some of them have the double dual exhaust, but this thing, I mean, it looks really good. I've never driven a Panamera, so I wanted to get my hands on these, and my buddies here at Porsche Mechanicsburg gave me access, and it just looks fantastic. I think as far as the looks go, I mean, like I said before, it's hard to pick between the Germans as to what is the best looking. We know the Audi A7 looks fantastic, and I think the BMW 8 Series is as well. It's really sort of a toss-up. Now, I just saw a CarWow video where they did the top spec of everything. They had like a M5 CS, an RS7, a Panamera 4S E hybrid or a turbo hybrid, and I don't know, it's really, you can't lose in the segment. I think they're all excellent cars. It's just sort of what you prefer. Now, this is on the more expensive side too. This is a 2020, but this is on sale for $98,000, and it is a V6 power plant. You get a lot of luxury and the Porsche heritage. So let's take a look at that engine. Now this is the engine right here. This is a 3-liter V6 made by Porsche, and you can see the strut tower across there just to keep everything in. And you can see the wires to go into the suspension. You do have different suspension modes. But yeah, 330 horsepower and 330 torque is not that bad. Nothing to shake a stick at. There's definitely plenty of power. I mean, we all get spoiled with all these high horsepower figures, and I've been spoiled too, driving all these crazy cars lately. But yeah, this is I'll call it an executive saloon with a V6 power. You still have forced induction, so it is a decent motor. This motor engine compartment looks really good. Just very nice, clean, and simple. And you can see how there's so much space in the front there. I mean, this is a V6, but they also have V8. I mean, how do you fit that in there? I guess you take these trims and make them a little bit different, but of course you have the hydraulic struts for Porsche because that is what they do. But yeah, this is a decent motor. So let's take a look at the trunk. Now we're gonna check out the trunk here. As always, now the key sort of looks like a Porsche a little bit. I think some of the 911s have the same key, but if we double tap on the trunk right there, that goes up. Very nice feature. Now, this is also a hatchback, which adds to the versatility. And I think the Audi A7 is also a hatchback, and I'm not sure if the BMW or the Mercedes are either. But yeah, this is pretty huge. I mean, I love the nice little tonneau cover that flips up. Yeah, I mean, this gives you a little bit of versatility. I guess you would lose a little bit of headroom, you know, compared to like a BMW 5 Series or an Audi A6, but this is in the more sexier, sleeker class of German sedans. Once we go in the back seat, the same with the BMW 8 Series and the Audi A7, it is only a 4-seater because you lose a little bit of, you know, practicality in the back seat, but there are some cool features back there. So, all right, let's check out the interior. I gotta mention too that these are some really sleek looking taillights, and I think they have the light bar that goes across, which is now a staple in design for Porsche. But yeah, you also have the 4 little dots there. I think it's your turn signals. Yeah, there you can see right there. But yeah, this is a beautifully sculpted car, and I think definitely one of the best looking in the class. All right, now let's check out the interior. All right, checking out the interior of the Panamera, and we are gonna turn this on right away because I am sweating like a pig. Now, one cool thing about Porsches, which you might have noticed in my other video, if you had the keys in here, the start button is over here on the left-hand side because back in the 50s, 1950, ooh, there's a 911 turbo. Back in the 50s, they had that on the left-hand side so you could start the engine with your left hand and put it into gear with your right hand, but we're gonna start it up. Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad for a V6. Now, I need to get the cooled seats going. There's 3 sections right there. Oh my gosh, it's so hot outside. We're gonna turn that down. Now this area in the interior, I think, is where this car will shine because this interior layout is absolutely beautiful. Sorry, I'm just screwing this thing off. But yeah, you've got the centrally located tachometer because it's a Porsche. Then on the side is your speedometer. There's a bunch of different stuff you can go over with the quick wheel, current road, off-road. But on the right hand side there is your nav screen, which is kind of cool, and I think you can have it right there or on the center stack right there. But this steering wheel is just absolutely beautiful. You've got the paddle shifters because it's a dual clutch automatic, as Porsche should be, and I love the little cutouts of the wheel right there. It just looks really cool. It's a beautiful wheel to feel in your hand. I love the Porsche crest with the German colors in it. This is essentially one of the quintessential German cars or German brands that has been around forever. Now we do have 2 panoramic sunroofs. I mean, you can put these shades back like so. Yeah, and this interior color is very beautiful too. Now this has the beige tan. You have the Porsche mark right there. Now a couple different things that are a little bit quirky about this interior. This is your screen right here, which controls everything, and your vents right there, you can control them on the screen. You sort of move them over. You can see the moving right there, and it's kind of, you know, forever we always had a little plastic button here that would move these, but it's just kind of one more little step. You can have focused or diffused air for the driver and the passenger. But I think Porsche's, you know, design right here looks very well because I love the horizontal laid out screen. There's your favorites, your phone, your off-road. Okay, we are off-road, I guess. But you've got your nav screen. Now look how big that map is. That is absolutely huge. We're going into Washington, apparently, Egg Harbor Township, Toronto, New York. Yeah, what is this? What is this map doing? I'm gonna switch it around. Yeah, there it makes sense. But yeah, the pixels, the graphics are very nice. The media, channel 51 BPM. I'm not gonna play the music, but this screen is just so horizontally laid out. there's your phone, there's your car. Now drive modes, normal, sport, individual. You can do your chassis settings right there, normal, sport, sport plus. We'll change that when we get out into the road. But yeah, this is just a very nicely laid out interior. Now coming down here, there is lots of gloss black on here, which might get into the fingerprints all over the place. There's your cigarette lighter for some reason. Now here's the two cup holders. I almost wish that there was like just this whole spot had two cup holders, because if you spill something on this beautiful leather, that might get a little troublesome. But there is your sport button right there. There's your adaptive suspension. There's your traction control off. Now this is the climate vent controls right here, which is kind of interesting. I like the little quick click wheels. This is great quality, craftsmanship and materials. You've got the leather, the silver aluminum trim, the stitched leather on your doors. My back is unbelievably cool right now because I have the cooled seats on. Now there's your clock right there, and that is what the 911 turbos and everything have, the sport chrono package, but that is just a cool little nod. Now there's some vents up there too. But yeah, this is really a beautifully laid out interior. I don't have any complaints at all, except for maybe just put a little plastic piece right there. You can go to source, media. Now these are like haptic touch. You can go to home right there or up top. Now your apps, your phone, navigation. So that's nice to have two different ways to get to things. But yeah, that screen is nice. Now, interior designs are I'm not gonna say they're tough to pull off, but there's all the designs that have been made have already been recycled a bunch. Like you can either have the vents on either side of the main screen or below or above, but this just works. I really like the design of this horizontally laid out screen. Yeah, the steering wheel is beautiful. The interior design is very nice, and I don't have any complaints at all. I like the quirkiness of the the starter on the side there. So let's check out the back seat. All right, jumping into the back seat of the Panamera. Now this front seat was where I had it, and there's decent room back here. I got a couple inches from my knees to the thing. Now, since there is this infotainment screen or this little compartment right back here that has your air controls when the car is on, this is only a 4-seater. I don't think you could put anybody in the middle right there, but we still have the beautiful leather with the nice little Porsche crest right there. You do have your panoramic sunroofs above you. Now, just to see the headroom, I have, quite a bit of room above me. I mean, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not super, super tall. But yeah, this is a nice place to be. You have your air conditioning vents right there. I mean, this is a Porsche. You want to have the, motorsport heritage and the performance of a car, but this also has the versatility of the, 4 doors, bigger sedan. Now, when this car came out in 2010, everybody was like, that's kind of ugly. But then in the same token, we all get pissed off because Lamborghini made an SUV, but the Macan and the Cayenne SUVs of Porsche probably saved this company. So we all know that everybody wants SUVs, and Porsche SUVs have now been a thing for a long time. The Cayenne's been around forever. Now there's the Macan, and those are probably fantastic vehicles to ride that have the performance and the heritage of Porsche. There's a Macan right there. All right, let's wrap this thing up, this Panamera. Now this is just a quick walk around of a 2020 Porsche Panamera 4. Now when you get a Porsche product, you get the motorsport heritage, but this car has the versatility plus the practicality of a sedan and the hatchback versatility as opposed to other sedan counterparts. Now this is sort of like a pick-em as far as the German sedans go with the competition of this car. You have the Audi A7, the BMW 8 Series, which are all great cars. This car will be a little bit more expensive than the others, but you still get all the things I mentioned before. The Porsche heritage plus this blue color is absolutely beautiful, this gentian blue. I mean, you still have 330 horsepower in a beautifully designed car. It's going to be about $98,000. So if you are interested in this car, you can come here to Porsche Mechanicsburg on the Carlisle Pike. I will put their website right here. So I think we're going to wrap this up and get this out on the road and see how it is like to drive as a road car. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram @GetMeDonCars, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.